Welcome back, dear listeners, to a brand new episode of Breakthrough to Better, your trusty companion on this journey of self-discovery and personal growth. As your host, Busy Babe, today we are diving into a truly special topic, embracing your uniqueness. In a world that's constantly trying to shape us into a mold, cherishing our individuality becomes an act of courage and self-love. This episode is dedicated to celebrating the unique essence that is you. You'll discover together the power of self-acceptance, the beauty of our quirks, and the liberating feeling of being unapologetically ourselves. So lace up your boots, fellow explorers, and prepare to march to the beat of your own drum. Remember, you are a masterpiece. There's only one of you, and that is your superpower. So are you ready to embrace what makes you you? Let's jump into this empowering journey together right here on Breakthrough to Better. P.S. We're doing a giveaway raffle every week, starting next week for those that leave reviews and comment below. And this week's giveaway is brought to you by Layered Jewelry, affordable, stylish, quality pieces that let you express your unique style. This week's winner is getting a piece of their choice. All right, let's get into it. Well, being your unique self feels like a big task sometimes, right? We are very afraid to be ourselves, and it's very ironic because it is literally just being us. But we're afraid of judgment. We're afraid of what other people will think. We are afraid of losing people. We're afraid of being other than. We're afraid of being kicked out of a tribe. There's a lot of fear centered around being yourself. And on a personal basis, I can say that it has a lot to do with fear of rejection and wanting people to accept you. My underlying belief was that you had to be perfect in order to be loved. And I eventually found out that that wasn't true. But while I did think that that was true, I did a lot of people pleasing. I did a lot of being a chameleon so that I could be accepted by different groups of people so that everybody would like me. And I know that Taylor Swift has a song called The Antihero. And in it, she does have an explanation of how, she would be whoever anyone needed her to be because she was a pathological people pleaser. And that stemmed from her growing up and never being liked by people. And not that I was ever not liked by people when I was growing up, it was more so that I always felt like I didn't belong. I always felt like I was a mistake or other than, or just something that didn't belong. And I would mold myself into this version of someone who I thought other people wanted me to be in order to belong, in order to be accepted, in order to be loved. And I found more towards my 30s, and I'm only 32 right now, so it's only really the last 2 years or so. I've learned that you don't need to be put into a mold. You don't need to fit a certain stereotype, archetype, any kind of type. You just need to be yourself. And are people not going to like you for being you? Yes. I'm not even going to lie. Yes, people won't like you. But that's everybody. Everybody doesn't like someone for a variety of reasons. Some reasons that make no sense. Some reasons that are the silliest things you ever heard. Some reasons that aren't even true. And as one of my mentors used to say, people hate people for no reason. So I'm going to love you for no reason. And when we meet, we'll have every reason to love each other. And I always thought that was the most beautiful, eloquent way of putting it. Because she is right. People do hate each other for no reason. And if that's the case, why can't we love each other for no reason? But that's a different topic for another time. I just need you guys to know that you shouldn't be afraid of being yourself. It is the most natural thing you can do is be yourself. And if we're all so busy trying to be someone else, we're all just going to be second rate versions of someone else. Even third rate versions, fourth rate versions, and on and on and on and on. Because if I tried to be Taylor Swift, I would fail every time. If someone thought that they needed to be me, they would fail. And if I'm busy being Taylor Swift and they think that's me and they try to be me, they're just really trying to be a third rate version of Taylor Swift. So we all need to be ourselves. The world needs your story. The world needs your personality. The world needs you to be you. And that's not to say that we can't improve upon ourselves, because we can be the best version of ourselves, but it's still ourselves that we're being. And I love that we are all made perfectly the way we are. We are all made how we're supposed to be. There is no mistake. There is no not meant to be here. There is no we are out of place. We all have a purpose here on earth. It doesn't matter if you know what it is, you have it. You are not born without one. And the only way you fulfill that purpose is by being yourself. Someone needs to hear you be you. An example of this is, let's say that Taylor Swift, when she grew up, she loves NSYNC, right? And let's say that she's like, you know what? I want to be Justin Timberlake. I'm going to be Justin Timberlake. So all her entire life, she thought, I need to be Justin Timberlake. She would never do half of the things that she did because she was so busy trying to be someone else. And then other people wouldn't see her and be inspired to be themselves. And then every single person who was affected by her wouldn't have that effect anymore, and they wouldn't be where they are in life. Just because she denied herself the ability to just be herself. And why that is a very, very specific, very out there example, because we're not all global superstars, obviously, but we do have the power to affect other people. There is someone that is watching you, not in a creepy way, maybe a creepy way, but not what I'm talking about. There is someone who is watching you, looking to you to give them inspiration or to give them the permission to be themselves. I know that I had a mentor who I looked up to so much. She unfortunately passed away recently, but in her time that she was on this earth, the main thing that most people got from her was the power of just being yourself. The power of not caring if people liked you or didn't like you. The power of getting over being a people pleaser and just being yourself, because that's who you need to be. That's who the world needs. And I loved how authentic she was. And that's what drew me to her. Not because she was some perfect version of someone else, not because she was some perfect version in general, but because she had quirks, because she had those, little things that most people would be like, oh, like, I don't know if you can do that. She didn't care. She did it anyway, because that's who she was. And I think that if we all just decided to be ourselves, the world would be so much more full of life and color, and just, we would all benefit from it. Imagine if Elon Musk decided he needed to fit into a mold. We wouldn't have SpaceX, we wouldn't have Teslas, we wouldn't have half of the innovations that he's come up with. And maybe other people wouldn't be inspired by what he's created, and they wouldn't have been created what they've created because of it. There's so many examples of people being so powerful just by being themselves. And imagine how powerful you could be if you just gave yourself permission to be yourself. And if you need the permission, I'll give it to you right now. Be yourself. You have my permission to be yourself. You don't need my permission, but if you need it, you have it. There are so many times that we have the opportunity to just be ourselves and to inspire other people. And most of the time we chicken out and we try to fit into a mold because we think that's what's safe. But playing it safe doesn't benefit anyone. Playing things safe, playing small, does not move us forward. It does not move you forward. It does not move society forward. It doesn't move the world forward. Playing small just keeps us small. So we need to be loud about being ourselves. We need to be big and bold and beautiful and just really, really show people who we are. Don't be afraid to show up as you. And just by being ourselves, we can change the world. There is no perfect mold. There is no perfect person. There is no perfection in general. Perfection is a myth. And this is coming from a recovering perfectionist. I think we get so caught up in trying to be perfect that we forget that who we are when we are doing our best is enough. We are enough. And I don't think we get told that enough. Definitely not from society, definitely not from the news, definitely not from the media. Heck no from the media. We're told constantly that we're not enough. Which is why we need to constantly remind ourselves that we are enough. Because there's so much negativity around that tells us we're not. Just remember that you being you is enough. Another mentor of mine always said, all you can do is enough. But are you doing all you can do? And I think that's the point where we have to start asking ourselves, am I doing all I can do to really show up as myself? You don't have to be a perfect version of yourself. You don't have to be 100% on all the time. You don't have to be this, godlike figure. That's not what we're going for here. We're going for you trying to achieve the best version of you. And the only way you can start doing that is by showing up as yourself. So I dare you this week, in every single capacity you can, show up as you. See what happens. You would be surprised how many people will resonate with who you are. And for the people who don't, that's fine. They resonate with something else. And you probably don't resonate with them. We don't all need everybody to resonate with everybody to make the world a better place. That team over there, whatever they resonate with, they can go do their own thing together. They can get things done. Us over here who resonate with each other, we can all get things done together as well. But we don't have to work with another team synergistically all the time in order to get things done. We can always just branch out and do our own things and help the world get better. That doesn't mean you hate them. That doesn't mean that you get angry at them for not wanting to be part of the group. This is not divisive. This is not the thing you see in the news and politics all the time where you are other, therefore I don't like you. No, this is just you do you, I'm a do me, and we're both going to succeed. But we all need to be ourselves in order to do that. We need to be able to find each other. Like if you were stuck in a mall and you were trying to find a person named Bob, and no one was wearing name tags, the only way you could possibly find Bob is to ask every single person in that mall, "Are you Bob?" Then you would find Bob, probably. But it would take you a very, very long time to do it. So you need to be able to be yourself so people know that you are one of them, that you resonate with what they're putting out. So you can find each other and work towards a similar goal. Being yourself allows you to do that. Being yourself allows you to find your own tribe. Being yourself allows you to open doors that someone else couldn't open. Being yourself makes things easier. It might make other things harder, but that's the same thing for someone else. Someone may show up as someone who loves public speaking, loves being the center of attention. Great. They can present and show off and put on shows for people, entertain people. That's great. But maybe over here someone else is showing up who is shy, who's introverted, who really loves thinking very hard about things and going deep into topics. Well, that's great. They can find other people who love doing the same thing, and maybe they can find insights that other people can't find that can help humanity, that can help the world. But again, we need to be ourselves in order for that to happen. There is a beauty in us showing up as ourselves. There is a beauty in having quirks, in having weird tics, in having things that make us uniquely us. If we were all the same, life would be so boring. Life would be so predictable. Life would be bland. There would be no taste. So I just want you all to know that you are capable of showing up in a way that someone else isn't capable of showing up. And the only way that the world is going to have the benefits of knowing that person is if you show up as you. Forget what everybody else thinks. Forget what you are so worried about. None of it is going to kill you. None of it is actually harming you. Your brain just thinks these horrible things are going to happen when I bet you the majority of them don't even happen. So trust your heart. Trust who you know that you're meant to be. Trust the inner part of you that whispers that you are more than enough, that you are meant for something more in this life. Because that is the same part of you that is your true soul, that is your true spirit, that you were born with. The only way that you're going to impact the world in the way that you are meant to is by you being you. This is a breakthrough that I've had over the last couple of years that I feel like I need to share with people because I don't think enough of us are doing what we need to do in order to show up for other people as ourselves. We aren't told this enough. It's not a class you take in college. It's not a class they take in high school or middle school or elementary school or, any kind of special schooling. This is not something that someone's going to teach you to do. You have to go into your basic instinct and know that you are enough as you are. So, how can we implement this? Well, if you don't know who you are, find out who you are. We can do this through, trying new things, seeing what we like and what we don't like. We can try it through hanging out with different people and seeing who we gravitate towards and who we don't. We can try hard things and see what we're made of. We can see what kind of careers we move towards. We can see what kind of interests we have. We can see what kind of values we have, what kind of friends we have. And if we really feel like we're at home with those people, there are many ways to find out more about who you are at the core. And once you do know who you are, don't negotiate with anyone about who that is. Keep showing up as that person. We need you. I need you. The world needs you. So that's all for today's episode of Breakthrough to Better, guys. I hope you've found insights and inspiration from this discussion, as we continue learning through life's lessons and turning them into stepping stones for personal growth. If you've enjoyed this episode, please spread the love and share it on your social media and channels and everything. Let's inspire others to also strive for their betterment. Be sure to tag and use the hashtag Breakthrough to Better. Every share, every comment, every review helps us reach more people and make a wider impact. So until next time, keep growing and remember, when we get better, the world gets better. Thanks for tuning in, guys.